Come in.
Hi.
Hi.
Mr. Adams?
Yes.
Hi, my name is Riley. I'm from the auction team. I started this meeting with your assistant about a week ago.
Yeah, absolutely. Please have a seat.
Well, thank you so much for taking the time out to see me today. I really appreciate it.
Certainly.
And I saw some pictures of you and your children out camping in the lobby while I was waiting. Do you guys do that often?
Yeah, my 4 sons and I, we love going down to the San Juan Mountains any chance we can get.
Nice. Any particular place in the San Juan Mountains?
Blue Lakes, Mount Sneffels, Chicago Basin.
Wow, it really sounds like I need to make some time to get down there.
Yeah, it definitely is. It's something you need to make time for.
Great. Well, speaking of time, have you ever considered how much time and money is being wasted on the inventory that you can't really seem to get rid of and your customers no longer want to buy?
It's something I've been thinking about lately. I deal specifically in sterling silver jewelry that comes to me on a seasonal basis. My vendors require me to sell it by a certain date, and they will not buy the merchandise back from me, so I certainly need to sell last season's inventory as quickly as possible before I can put the new inventory out on the sales floor.
Wow, I have noticed that you've gotten some new inventory in. It's really great to see your business moving forward. You must be pretty excited about that.
Yeah, definitely are excited to expand and grow. However, getting rid of everything that I bought for last season is certainly going to be important.
Okay. Well, is it okay if I ask you a few questions to see maybe if our service can benefit your company a little bit?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, is it okay if I take some notes while we do this?
Certainly.
Okay. So have you ever used an auction service before?
I have not.
Okay. And do you have any inventory that would benefit you to be sold immediately?
Yes.
And could your business benefit from increased revenue at this point?
At this point, it's a necessity.
Okay. And do you have any concerns for hiring an outside service to help increase profit and reduce inventory?
At this point, my only concern would be that any company I hired displays the merchandise and sells it to the same standards that we do here in the store.
Okay. And are you aware of the benefits of hiring experts in this field?
I've never done it myself, no.
Okay. And what could your company achieve with more space and money at this point?
Well, in addition to needing to push next season's inventory, we've also invested a fairly significant amount of money in updated displays and updated planograms, including, adding an antique book section to our store. But until we get everything off the sales floor, we're not going to be able to install those new devices.
Okay. And can I ask you, have you ever heard of my company or its services before in any way?
I've seen some of your advertisements, and I know some people who have, antique dealers and such who have used your services, but I myself have never been onto your website.
Okay. Well, we are the auction team. We are an auction company that has been in the Grand Valley for over 30 years. We offer expertise from anything from real estate to antiques to estates, vehicles, guns, anything you name it, we offer expertise in it.
Okay.
We've recently moved our company online, so we mostly do online auctions because it's just where everything seems to be moving.
Interesting.
Yeah. But we do still offer live auctions as well. For your kind of merchandise, I definitely recommend an online auction.
Okay.
I feel like you would get more exposure that way. But we do offer specialized and customized auction services for businesses who are looking to increase profits and rid themselves of inventory.
Okay.
Does that sound like something that maybe you'd be interested in learning about?
Definitely.
Okay. Well, I'm here because I would like to help your business achieve its full potential. If I can guarantee you that you would make money today and rid yourself of inventory, would you be willing to sign a contract with me today?
It's certainly something I might think about. I'm definitely more interested in seeing how your process works, what it might cost, and then I'll probably need a little bit of time to think it over and decide if it's the direction I want to go.
Okay, well, first let's find out if your company could benefit from our services to begin with. So is it okay if I ask you a few more questions?
Absolutely.
Okay, well, before we begin, do you know of anyone that might have some objections or that we need to get in here before we start this process?
No, I'm who you need to be talking to.
Okay. Are you comfortable with paying for our commission through the goods that you would be selling?
I think that would be preferable for me over paying an upfront fee.
Okay. And do you think your company could benefit from moving inventory?
It's actually a necessity at this point. I made a mistake in my buying process last year, and if I'm unable to move this inventory and get my new merchandise to the floor, it's a situation that could potentially bankrupt my business.
Gotcha. And how quickly do you think you would need the inventory moved?
I'm hoping to have, I would like to have everything moved within about the next 30 days or so.
Okay, so from what I understand, your store is struggling because of the massive amount of inventory that's taking up space and costing you a lot of money.
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, so which service do you think at this point would best benefit you? Do you think you'd prefer a live auction or an online auction at this point?
Well, as you stated, I'm definitely interested in hearing more about your online auction services.
Gotcha. Sounds like a pretty good plan to me. So from what I understand, you think you've reached your limit with how much current inventory you can sell. So you'd like to find a way to gain more monetary means and rid yourself of inventory. Does that sound about right?
Yes.
Okay. And do you feel at this point, after learning a little bit about my company and what we do you think there's an option that's better suited for you?
Well, I guess my biggest question at this point is what would be the benefits of choosing your company versus listing the items myself on something like eBay?
Well, do you consider yourself to have the manpower, the storage capacity, and the time to list every single item that you need to sell on eBay and waiting for the appropriate customer to come along?
Those are all very good points. No, I do not have,
Okay.
have those resources.
Okay, and do you feel comfortable with hiring? I mean, obviously you work with a lot of outside vendors, but would you be comfortable working with an outside vendor to possibly rid yourself of the inventory that your other vendors are no longer willing to buy back?
Yeah, as I said before, as long as it's sold to the same standards that we sell it here in the store.
Okay. Is there any way I can make you feel more comfortable moving forward at this point?
So far you're doing a good job.
Okay. All right, and then another question I have for you is, what do you think you could accomplish in your store with more space with all the inventory being gone?
Like I said, definitely instituting all new displays and an entirely new planogram, as well as increasing our offerings within the store.
Nice. Okay, so then is that your only plan to get rid of that current inventory, or do you have another way of disposing of that inventory?
Unfortunately, the only other way I could dispose of it would be through a salvage process, which would only get me, a fraction of the cost that I paid for it.
Gotcha. So, how are you currently feeling about selling your inventory with us right now?
So far, you're doing a good job answering, my questions.
So do you think at the end of the quarter, if you were capable of ridding yourself of inventory and possibly turning a positive profit at the end of the quarter, do you think that you would get yourself out of financial trouble at this point? Because I feel like that's what I'm hearing from you right now.
Definitely. There are still requirements that, I make a certain margin on these products in order to satisfy what I paid for them initially.
Gotcha. So right now your biggest worry is mostly your marginal costs and getting inventory off the floor.
Yes.
Okay. So how are you currently handling your overstock in the store?
Some of it is still out on the sales floor, and the rest of it is, in the back room.
Okay. So do you know how much storage fees and the depreciation of the shelf life of an item is costing you about right now?
I don't have the exact figure because of my off-site storage needs that my new seasonal jewelry is in. I know that it's starting to add up, but I don't know the exact dollar amount.
Gotcha.
Sitting right here.
So it would be beneficial for that inventory to be gaining you money instead of losing you money.
Yes.
Gotcha. And would it be helpful to know that we could provide expertise in the products that we are selling for you?
Yes, it would.
Okay. So I can show you the services that my company can provide, as well as the expertise in many fields in the top-of-line customer service. Would you have a few minutes to explore our state-of-the-art website with me while I explain more in depth of what our service can do for you?
Yeah, absolutely.
One moment, please. in here. So the website is easy to use and gets national exposure.
Okay.
So this allows your product to be seen in an even larger group of potential buyers, and it's easy to use for anyone. So any of your local vendors right now could purchase any other product back if they weren't uncomfortable with it being exposed to anyone else or not being sold through you directly.
Okay.
As well as we have about 4,000 people in our email database right now over a 9-state area. So
Okay.
that's always a really good way to get your everything exposed to. So you'll be able to see that the service that we offer will be able to provide you with a positary monetary quarter and free your inventory space and create a more efficient workforce.
Okay.
Does that sound like it would be good for you?
Yeah, your website seems extremely intuitive to use.
Well, we do offer personalized service, social media presence, a state-of-the-art security system, and itemized settlement statements at the end of every auction that will allow your company to grow and prosper.
Okay. Yeah, actually, that was something I forgot to bring up. I definitely need, itemized product statements to integrate with my company financials. Is that something that you can handle?
Oh, yes. We always have itemized statements at the end of every auction that you get with your check when we bring it to you, as you can see right here. I've actually brought one with me so you can take a look at everything. Everything is listed here and how much each product sold for.
Okay.
So you'll know exactly how much your inventory sold for and how much you would need to gain or make, and we can always adjust that for you if we need to.
Okay. And how do you handle any items that might not sell in the auction?
So it's according to you and what you're comfortable with. We mostly will just keep it and we'll offer it at the next auction. Eventually everything does get sold. So if you decide to use our services again in the future, or you continue to use our services maybe on a quarterly basis or even on a monthly basis, you'll always have a way to get rid of the inventory that you just can't seem to get rid of.
Okay.
Okay? So I feel like I have expressed your concern of how to balance the books after the merchandise is sold. Do you like visiting with your contractors face-to-face or over the phone?
I face-to-face is probably the number one, but I'm willing to talk over the phone if time doesn't allow for face-to-face meetings.
Okay, well, I am your personal representative.
Okay.
So I do have a card with me today that I will leave with you. So when you call that number on the phone, you will get me directly, and
Okay.
I will always make you my priority. So I'll always make as much time for you as I possibly can.
Okay.
Does that sound good to you?
Yeah, that sounds amazing.
Okay, and do you think your company could benefit from some more social media exposure?
Oh, definitely. Being in the retail environment, word of mouth is important for us to be successful.
Very, very cool. Well, I do all of our social media marketing. I have made our presence more and more known. We're just going through the roof at this point. So right now we're talking about opening a second branch in Denver.
Okay.
Do you so far have any more questions regarding the services we can provide for you at this point?
At this point, I think you've answered every question that I came to the meeting with.
Very nice. So we're in agreement that this would be the best decision that you could make for your company and its future. You'll have monetary gain as well as inventory space for the new product that you have coming in. Is that agreed upon?
Yes.
Okay, well, I did bring a contract with me today if you'd like to take a look at it, and we can see if we can get something set up.
Okay. Okay, it says here that your standard commission is 30%. That's definitely something that would concern me a little bit. Like I mentioned before, the margin on the product is still going to be important to me.
Okay, well, since you are a new customer with us, I'd be able to offer you a 10% commission cut.
Okay.
Simply because I want to make sure that you are taken care of, especially with your first time out with us. I believe that you'll be fully satisfied with our services and you'll be more than happy to come back. But right now, I feel like the best thing I can do for you is give a 10% commission cut.
Okay, yeah, that's more than fair.
Okay, so if you want to go ahead and give that a signature at the bottom.
This is pretty incredible. I'm very excited to work with you.
Yeah? Well, let's get our calendars out and see if we can get something set up on the books so we can get your inventory moved up to our facility. Does that sound good?
That sounds good.
Okay. So looking at our calendar, it looks like we have some availability on the 5th. Does that work for you?
Yes, actually, that is perfect for my calendar.
Okay, well then that sounds perfect. I have you down on the 5th. I'll give you a call in a few days to just give you a friendly reminder that we're going to be here picking it up, okay?
Okay.
So if you can have it ready for us when we get here, that would be great.
Okay.
Okay. But thank you so much for meeting with me today, and I'm glad we could do business.
Absolutely. Thank you.
All right. I'll call you in a couple days.
Have a nice day.